Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today?
Good.
How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things we're talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. They'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First
the
Contact
truth.
Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Today is Friday. We've made it to the end of the week. It's the 23rd of May. So what do we have going on here today? Well, we see that we have two signs that are transitioning in the moon sign. Pisces. Pisces has been our sign for the last couple of days. Presently, we are in a void of course period. That's kind of the term used when you're in between the moon signs, so to speak. And in just about 3 hours from now, we are going to be going into the next sign, which is Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is a fire sign. Fire signs are all about ideas. Aries is all about new beginnings, pioneering efforts, so on and so forth. Okay, that is where we're going towards over the weekend. Let's look at that before I jump away. Over the weekend, we're going to be dealing with Aries. We've got a number of got a couple of squares and trines to look at tomorrow. One dealing with Pluto. Aries is squaring Pluto. We have a trine of Jupiter trining Saturn, and then we have our moon, which is in a square with Jupiter. Okay, so Aries is going to be involved with all of those, with Pluto, deep transformation. Remember, Jupiter's expansion and discipline, and these two are going to be working together. And then, of course, we have Aries is at square with Jupiter with expansion. So we've got some good lessons and things to deal with tomorrow about our leadership, personal responsibility, creativity, so on and so forth. On Sunday, we're going to be making a transition over into Taurus for our moon sign. And then Monday will be in Taurus as well. Our sun sign at the moment is Gemini, and it will be for the rest of this month and on into half of next month. All right, numerology for today is a number 8. Number 8, here's how we've arrived at the number 8. We got 5 plus the 2, 23, plus the year 2014. That's 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. Again, the process, if you're new, it's called theosophic subtraction. It's where you reduce all of the numbers down to one single number. One single number. So it doesn't matter if you have 10 numbers, you keep adding them together until you get only one. And that's the process of theosophic subtraction. Here is the card representing number 8. It is the card of strength. We see the lion being tamed by the woman. The lion representing our animal nature, the woman, the purity of our being, our unconscious. See over her head right here, we see the symbol of infinity. Okay, the yellow around it is an idea of intellect, the mind, how the mind is involved. Red, the color of passions. White, purity. Green is growth. So you look at all the colors and everything because they all have a purpose with these particular type of cards. These are the cards from the builders of the atom. You can see, when they come, they're all black and white, and you color them in. And part of the process, when I told you can do the lessons with them, you get the lessons. You want to get yourself the cards. You get yourself the colored pencils. And as you go through one lesson, you color the card. And as you color each aspect, it will absorb into you what that meaning is of why that color is there and what you're doing. So it's very helpful. Okay, this is about strength, but the strength of God is like a lion. That's the phrase I like to use with this card because it teaches us that right useness of anything is by going through our heart, letting love color all things first. Okay, and that is our moon sign, or that is our numerology for today. If we look over at the tree of life, let's look where everything is. Here's our numerology, 8, sitting between severity and mercy. Too much and too little. Okay, it's the doorway that opens to the heart. We look at our Gemini. We know where Gemini is right here. It's going from understanding to beauty. And our moon sign, Aries, is right across the way. So between the two, we have a nice, good little mix going on here. And as we can see in both instances, we've got a movement going from the outside to the in, forming this letter V. And through both of them, we have to cross through strength. So strength is a very important lesson that's going on today. And here we have all three of these involved. Discrimination or discernment, order, righteousness. All right? Again, if you just look over this on a daily basis, just, you don't have to know it all. You're not going to know it all at once. It's a system that is a continual process of learning. But I assure you, if you look at it every day, if you just look at it from the standpoint of classrooms, circles are classrooms. These are the paths between the classrooms. Outside you have the Ein Sof, the no thing, that flows through into the crown and goes through all of these processes that are involved with everything we do in life, balancing out of the two aspects to balance them out in the middle. Pillar of severity, pillar of mercy, pillar of balance. Okay, a lot to learn from this symbol. It has within it numerology, it has astrology, it has colors, it has Kabbalistic wisdom, it has tarot. All right. I also find associations to I Ching as well. Pretty much all of the systems tie in together because they're all describing some sort of cosmic force that we're all dealing with. Our moon phase at the moment is 27% of the way full, making its way down to the new moon. This week, or the sky tonight, says we have a meteor shower. Possible strong meteor shower may arrive in the early morning hours of Saturday the 24th, timed for North America, about 3 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, midnight on the Pacific Coast. For just a few hours, we'll pass through the predicted debris tail of Comet 209P Linear, which is making an unusually close flyby of Earth. There's even a slim possibility that the shower could approach meteor storm proportions. The comet itself is closest on May 29th, but is very small and faint and may reach 11 magnitude at best. Okay, and then this weekend, low in the dawn of Saturday the 25th for the Americas, Venus shines beautifully. So if we take a look to see what's coming up as we get into the weekend, we're going to moon. We got Venus right down here. Okay. The Mayan Oracle. We're at a 10-tone day. 10 is the planetary tone of manifestation. Symbol for today is the serpent, all about our life force energy, survival instinct, and the Skywalker is out about exploration, space, the exploration of space, the space around us. Doesn't have to be outer space, it's maybe the space around us. If we put the cursor over each one of these, it will give you some information so you can really learn about each one, tell you what it is, tell you the position that it takes at this present time. This is the like-minded energy on this side. This is the challenging energy for today. The like-minded energy is our ability to understand the timelessness of things, whereas vision is our challenge for today. And by challenge, and we get past this and we learn it, we learn a great deal from it. So we use this as our ally, and we use this to grow. And down here below is the symbol that represents the hidden power. It's called the occult kin. But the word occult only means that which is hidden, so it's not about anything scary. It's just about a hidden power. And here it's the warrior, which is the theme that we're in. the theme of using our intelligence to be able to move through a situation. For example, in the tarot card that I showed you, the card of strength, right here we have the yellow color all around it. Well, when we look at the colors, they all have meaning. Yellow is the intellect. The card here, right here, you see the warrior. What is the warrior about? Intelligence. Using intelligence to move through a situation. Well, there's some synchronicity because we have yellow all over this. The mind, intelligence. Using intelligence to understand what the right useness is. Using intelligence to tame the animal nature. All of this stuff ties in when you really look at it. It's kind of amazing how it does that. The phrase for today is I perfect in order to survive, producing instinct. I seal the store of life force with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of space. Okay. And then let's go over to space weather. Our solar wind is 432.3 kilometers per second. Planetary K-index is moving up between from 1 to 3, but it's still considered quiet. All right, we got one coronal hole up here, a little bit one over here. Nothing that seems to provide any solar wind coming our way. There's no notices of that. M-class flare possibility still at 10, X-class at 1, and geomagnetic storm activity has dropped a bit. So we'll see how things are, but we'll keep our eyes open tonight. Midnight on the west coast, 3 a.m. on the east coast for the meteor shower that might be coming in. And last, Jewish calendar today is Omer, day 38. Tonight, the count is 39. Remember, the count on this, and today is 23 Liar. And remember, the counting of the Omer, which goes from the Exodus until the time when they arrived at Mount Sinai, those 49 days in there. What we have here is the count, which always begins in the evening time, because if you recall, it's always after sundown when activities in the Jewish calendar always begin. Okay, if we look on here just for any further information about today. Let's see here. It says the daily thought. Do not be misled by those who claim there is no purpose. They may know life, but not the bowels of its foundation. They may know darkness, but not its meaning. They may have wisdom, but cannot reach higher to a place beyond wisdom from which all wisdom began. They may reach so high until the very source from which all the rivers flow, to the place where all known things converge, where all knowledge is one. But they have not touched the essence. At the essence there is nothing, no light, no darkness, no knowledge, no convergence, no wisdom, nothing but the burning purpose of this moment now. All right. If you want to do further study on here, here's the Psalms that you would read for today's daily study. Let's take a look at what it is. 108 to 112. To the song by a psalm by David. My heart is steadfast, O God. I will sing and chant praises, even with my soul. Awake, O lyre and harp. I shall awake in the dawn. I thank you among the nations, Lord. I will sing praises to you among the peoples. Indeed, your kindness reaches above the heavens. Your truth reaches to the skies. Be exalted upon the heavens, O God. Your glory upon all the earth, that your beloved ones may be delivered. Help with your right hand and answer me. God spoke in his holiness that I would exalt. I would divide portions of your enemies. I would measure the valley of Sukkot. Mine is Gilead, mine is Manasseh, and Ephraim is the stronghold of my head. Judah is my prince. Moab is my wash basin. I will cast my shoe upon Edom. I will shout over Philistia. Who brings me to the fortified city? Who led me unto Edom? Is it not God, who has forsaken us and did not go forth, O God, with our names? Give us help against the adversary. Futile is the help of man. Through God we do valiantly, and he will trample our oppressors. Okay, I'm just going to read the first one. There's the other ones there. I want to continue on. And that gets us started for today. UFO News is up next. Here we go.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. Today, our first story starts in Ireland. It says UFO hovers over North Ireland. It appears to be trying to communicate. You can see the unidentified flying object in the video as the video progresses. The poster says that the object is flashing Morse code. Whatever was filmed in the sky above Belfast was clearly hovering in one spot for more than an hour. The video shows an extremely bright light flashing in the clear skies over Belfast, Northern Ireland. This bright object, which cannot be identified, was flashing in Morse code. It stayed in the city for over an hour. The video is separated by 50 minutes. This footage was recorded August 2012. We've got a 5-minute video here. You really do need to expand this one. Be able to see it clearer. Okay, but this is pretty cool. And I'd like to find out what this message is it was beeping down in Morse code. Alright, moving on. Okay, remember a couple days ago there was the shooting down of the Chinese rocket? Or the Russian rocket? Did a mysterious unidentified object shoot down the Russian Proton-M rocket? This was the question that was asked. I remember seeing this one. It was kind of cool the way it happened. This Russian rocket explodes minutes after launch. Was it shot down by an unidentified flying object? Well, we certainly saw the small object hit it, pass through it. Did a mysterious unidentified object shoot down the Russian Proton-M rocket? Russia's Proton-M rocket, carrying a powerful advanced satellite on board, burned up and crashed down outside the Kazakhstan territory on Friday, May 16th, about 9 minutes after liftoff. A tiny white object was seen streaking in from the southeast and merging with the rocket just before it deviated from its course. What was the tiny white dot? Did something unidentified shoot down the Proton-M rocket? You be the judge of that. Alright, there's a long story here all about that. Just thought I'd bring this to your attention because it's very interesting. I think maybe down here the last line of this was says the question remains, what was the mysterious tiny white dot that zipped in from the southwest and struck the Proton-M rocket just before it deviated from its trajectory? For now, let's just call it an unidentified flying object. Could someone or something be sending the Russians a message to keep boots on the ground? What do you think it was? Alright. From there, we're going to go over to look at Majestic 12. You've heard about Majestic 12. The disclosure of the Majestic 12 files about classified objects such as extraterrestrials and the technologies is the most fantastic revelation in the public today in the last 20 years. The Majestic 12 is a shady pro-government organization which was formed by the United States. Former President Harry S. Truman. He signed a finding saying that no one, including the President of the United States, is to be in possession of above top-secret documents about UFOs, extraterrestrial-related findings, and state secrets without a need-to-know clearance. The implementation of President Truman was kept secret to the Congress and was hidden under the name of the National Security Act of 1947, which prohibits the disclosing of classified matters without presidential approval and prior agreement by the Department of Defense and Central Intelligence Agency. This is in order to secure the knowledge of extraterrestrials and the technology to prevent foreign countries from learning vital secrets and to get an edge in the United States. All the UFO and extraterrestrial knowledge and findings of projects under MJ-12 were limited to only those few selected personnel in the intelligence and scientific community and kept away from the public and even the President himself. The only official study program that was widely open to the public was the CIA-controlled program in 1953, Project Blue Book. But the program was never used to reveal UFO findings. Instead, it was used to debunk and discount extraterrestrial findings, deceiving the public, leading them away from knowing the truth. Soon after John F. Kennedy became president, he started to needle the CIA for information on all classified UFO and extraterrestrial information by sending a letter to the CIA personnel Alice Dulles, demanding his right as President of the United States to know all the classified documents about UFOs extraterrestrials, and state secrets. Dulles forwarded Kennedy's request that obviously did not have the need-to-know clearance to James Angleton, who is the CIA director of the Central Counterintelligence, in thinking that Angleton was the right man to deal with Kennedy's demand for consideration and feedback. But Dulles' actions were unacceptable, and his cordial relationship with the CIA fell short. The signed explicit instructions in the September 24, 1947 Truman Directive was clear that such disclosure to a chief executive who did not have a need-to-know clearance will compromise the CIA and the costly UFO programs that is under MJ-12's control. According to the leaked DCI top-secret Majestic 12 documents, the MJ-12 included spin-off projects that were equally sensitive areas of the CIA, such as Project Parasite, Perihelion, Envire, PSYOP, Green, Spike, and House Cleaning. Other sensitive and covert programs of MJ-12 also include Project MKUltra, Artichoke, and Domestic. The full implication of the above projects are still not clear today, but it is obvious that other projects were held in readiness for some kind of mass indoctrination and deception in a national crisis event. So it's always good to know that we have agencies in this country that are willing to deceive Americans. It's always amusing to see Americans getting fooled by these things. Sadly amusing, I must say, because it's never fun to watch people get fooled. But it's always really great to see that people aren't fooled by this. That's what's even more exciting. And I know that there's a lot more of those people out there who aren't fooled by the lies of the government anymore. All right, if you're out and about traveling, here's a new place you might want to check out. An intergalactic space exhibition has landed again for another summer at Broadway at the Myrtle at the Beach Encounters UFO Experience off 29th Avenue in Myrtle Beach, near the Margaritaville restaurant, and is open every day through September 2nd. Brian Bouquet, President and Chief Executive of the event agency in San Clemente, California, which oversaw the primary development and design of Encounters, said last week after his recent visit that additions of 7 more exhibits with the galleries were about complete just in time for the summer tourist season. You can see there's a lot to the article. I'm going to leave that for you to read because I want to move on. This article has to do with the Pope. We've certainly heard the Pope has an interest in UFOs, said he's willing to baptize them if they come down. How lucky for them that our Pope is willing to baptize beings from other worlds. Okay, but this question is, why is the Pope's head shaped like a fish? Why is the Pope's mitre, not his head? His head could be shaped like that. He wears a hat, but probably not. But why is his mitre, the hat he wears, shaped like a fish? Do you ever wonder why the Pope's mitre looks like the head of a fish? What are the origins of the ceremonial hat, and what does it truly represent? Well, Dagon, the fish god of the Philistines and the Babylonians, wore a fish hat that is still seen today with the Roman Catholic Church's popes and bishops. Here's a picture of Dagon, and you can see the head on there, the fish head, kind of similar to what the Pope is wearing here. According to Reuben Joseph's book entitled Why Are We the Young People Leaving Church?, the mitre is derived directly from the mitres of the ancient pagan fish god Dagon and the goddess Cybele. The papal mitre represents the head of Dagon with an open mouth, which is the reason for the pointed shape and the split top. The story the church wants you to believe is provided by a PDF entitled The Bishop's Vestments, while an online version of this explanation can be found here. It says here, the shape of the mitre represents the tongues of fire that rested on the heads of the disciples gathered in the upper room on the day of Pentecost when God sent the Holy Spirit in the church. All right, well, look at this, and you tell me if you see anything that reminds you of tongues of fire coming down. I don't. I see an opening here, but I don't see anything looks like it's coming down here. They could do a lot better if they were trying to make this look like tongues of fire coming down into the heads of a person. That's not what it looks like, and those with eyes to see certainly know. So what the church explanation fails to describe is the actual fisheye on the side of the mitre. Perhaps this is an emblem of charcoal from the tongues of fire. Where is that? It's right down here. Okay. Probably not. It's a fisheye. The book of Nineveh and Babylon by Austin Henry Leonard states, in their veneration and worship of Dagon, the high priest of paganism, would actually put on a garment that had been created from a huge fish. The head of the fish formed a meter above that of an old man while its scaly, fan-like tail fell as a cloak behind, leaving the human limbs and feet exposed. Okay. Same imagery right here. Some big fish to be able to do that, huh? The most prominent form of worship was dedicated to Dagon, later known as Ichthys, or the fish. In Chaldean times, the head of the church was representative of Dagon. He was considered to be infallible and was addressed as Your Holiness. Nations subdued by Babylon had to kiss the ring and the slipper of the Babylon god king. The same powers and the same titles are claimed to this day by the Dalai Lama of Buddhism and the Pope. Moreover, the vestments of paganism, the fish mitre, and the robes of the priests of Dagon are worn by the Catholic bishops, cardinals, and popes. Enki, who is the god of the Sumerian and Babylonian mythology. In Babylonian mythology, A was the water god, who was half man, half fish hybrid. In Greek mythology, A was known as Oannes. By any name, this fish god can be traced back to genetic manipulation of man by the Anunnaki, as evidenced by Zecharia Sitchin's work. It is believed that in the daytime the deity would emerge from the water and was responsible for teaching art, science, and writing to the human race. All right, we got a lot more to the article here. Here's some relating to the old stories and rocks, and here's the extraterrestrial object in the sky. Some say it has a relationship to Venus. And again, there's the old fish god thing. All right. It's very good. And a lot more down here. Why the people kiss the Pope's ring. Well, just a moment ago I read the part about how they would kiss the ring of Dagon and kiss his feet. Okay. And a lot more examples here. There you can see real here. It looks like a fish's mouth and a big ol' eye. Either way you look at it, there's an eye on either side. Just like here, big ol' eye. Alright? And so there's a lot to this article. So check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Read the rest of it, see what you think. But I find this to be fascinating. This is from Greg Prescott over in 5D. And the very last UFO piece today is a movie for you to watch. This is a documentary. 41 minutes and 43 seconds long. Amazing Secrets About Aliens. It's a good UFO documentary. It's well worth the 41 minutes to watch it. So check it out. That is our UFO news for today. I'll be back. I've got some more for you, so stay tuned. Here we go. This is Today Observation.
Another alien visitor claimed that his race had been looking in on us for centuries, and that they had in fact influenced the course of human history in some rather critical and startling ways.
Listen up. I am myself and I am someone else. Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't sound so crazy to you if you've seen what I've seen. Corridors of time, dimensions of space, traveling through the universe, from place to place.
Alright, from place to place. Alright, I found this to be a pretty fascinating article. So before we continue on with our Gospel of Thomas, this is an article about species of life that is out there. It's always fascinating when new species of life are discovered or named or talked about. Here we have everything from ice anemones to dragon trees. Top species are named. Alright, so this one I can just easily look at right here. Let's see here. Let's jump over to, I don't know what this one is called here. It says the top 10 species for 2014 has just been named by an international committee of taxonomists and other experts. Alright, so let's jump over to this first one here. This would be the dragon tree. Here we have a little ice anemone. This one's kind of interesting. This thing lives and survives in the cold regions of Antarctic. Pretty amazing. You have a little, it's called a little skeleton shrimp. You have a little orange penicillin, they call these things. Here we have, you can see this one down here. It's camouflaged. It almost looks like the bottom of these rocks here. But there it is right there in the middle. You can see the tail right here, the long tail, the legs, the head. Here we have single-celled says, I'm awed by the complexity and probability of the single-celled protest. Very interesting. Here we have a number of found in rooms where spacecraft are assembled. These microbial species, Pterococcus phenocius, could potentially contaminate other planets that spacecraft visit. And here we have another one. It's called the Tinkerbell fairy fly. Tinkerbell nana was found in the Costa Rican forest. Pretty interesting looking creature. Living in complete darkness nearly 3,000 feet below the surface of the Lucana Jama caves of western Croatia is this eyeless snail. Alright, and there you have it. So, interesting. All the different animals and things that are out there. Alright, so, Gospel of Thomas. We started it last week. And let's see where we're going to go today. We were doing the first translation here. And we've got through a number of these before we stop. So let's see here. Let's go here and let's start off with the 23rd, since today's the 23rd. We'll move down. Jesus said, I choose you, 1 out of 1,000, and 2 out of 10,000. And they shall stand as a single one. His disciples said to him, Show us the place where you are, since it is necessary for us to seek it. He said to them, Whosoever has ears, let him hear. There is light within the man of light, and he lights up the whole world. If he does not shine, he is darkness. Jesus said, Love your brother like your soul. Guard him like the pupil of your eye. Jesus said, You see the mote in your brother's eye, but you do not see the beam in your own eye. When you cast the beam out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to cast the mote out of your brother's eye. Jesus said, If you do not fast as regards to the world, you will not find the kingdom. If you do not observe the Sabbath as a Sabbath, you will not see the Father. Jesus said, I took my place in the midst of the world, and I appeared to them in flesh. I find all of them intoxicated. I found none of them thirsty. And my soul became afflicted for the sons of men, because they are blind in their hearts, and they do not have sight. For empty they came into the world, and empty they too. They seek to leave the world, but for the moment they are intoxicated. When they shake off their wine, then they will repent. Jesus said, If the flesh came into being because of spirit, it is a wonder. But if spirit came into being because of the body, it is a wonder of wonders. Indeed, I am amazed at how great the wealth has made its home in this poverty. Jesus said, Where there are 3 gods, there are gods. Where there are 2 or 1, I am with him. Jesus said, No prophet is accepted as his own village. No physician heals those who know him. Jesus said, A city built on a high mountain and fortified cannot fall, nor can it be hidden. Jesus said, Preach from your housetops that which you will hear in your ear. For no one lights a lamp and puts it under a bushel, nor does he put a hidden place, but rather he sets it on a lampstand, so everyone who enters and leaves will see its light. Jesus said, If a blind man leads a blind man, they will both fall into a pit. Jesus said, It is not possible for anyone to enter the house of a strong man and take it by force, unless he binds his hands. Then he will be able to ransack his house. Jesus said, Do not be concerned from the morning until the evening, and from the evening until morning about what you will wear. His disciples said, When will you become revealed to us, and when shall we see you? Jesus said, When you disrobe without being ashamed, and take up your garments, and place them under your feet like children, and tread on them, then you will see the Son of the Living One, and you will not be afraid. Jesus said, many times you have desired to hear these words, which I am saying to you, and you will have no one else to hear them from. There will be days when you will look for me, and you will not find me. Jesus said, the Pharisees and the scribes have taken the keys of knowledge and hidden them. They themselves have not entered, nor will they be allowed to enter those who wish to. You, however, be as wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Jesus said, a grapevine has been planted outside of the Father, but being unsound, it will be pulled up by its roots and destroyed. Jesus said, whoever has something in his hand will receive more, and whoever has nothing will be deprived even of the little he has. Jesus said, become passers-by. His disciples said to them, who are you, that you should say these things? Jesus said to them, you do not realize who I am from what I say to you, but you have become like the Jews, for they either love the tree and hate its fruit, or love the fruit and hate the tree. Jesus said, whoever blasphemes against the Father will be forgiven, and whoever blasphemes against the Son will be forgiven. But whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven either on earth or in heaven. Jesus says, grapes are not harvested from thorns, nor are figs gathered from thistles, for they do not produce fruit. A good man brings forth good from his storehouse, an evil man brings forth evil things from his evil storehouse, which is in his heart, and says evil things. For out of the abundance of the heart he brings forth evil things. Jesus said, among those born of women from Adam until John the Baptist, there is no one so superior to John the Baptist that his eyes should not be lowered before him. Yet I have said, whichever one of you comes to be a child will be acquainted with the kingdom and will be superior to John. Jesus said, it is impossible for a man to mount 2 horses or to stretch 2 bows, and it is impossible for a servant to serve 2 masters. Otherwise he will honor one and treat the other contemptuously. No man drinks old wine and immediately deserves to drink new wine. And new wine is not put into old wineskins, lest they burst, nor is old wine put into new wineskin, lest it spoil it. An old patch is not sewn onto new garment, because it would tear, would result. Jesus said, if 2 make peace with each other in this house, they will say to the mountain, move away, and it will move away. Jesus said, blessed are the solitary and elect, for you will find the kingdom. For you are from it, and to it you will return. Jesus said, if they say to you, where did you come from? Say to them, it came from the light, the place where the light came into being on its own accord and established itself and became manifest through their image. If they say to you, is it you? Say, we are its children. We are the elect of the living Father. If they ask you, what is the sign of your Father in you? Say to them, it is movement and repose. His disciples said to them, when will the repose of the dead come about? And when will the new world come? He said to them, what you look forward to has already come, but you do not recognize it. His disciples said to him, 24 prophets spoke in Israel, and all of them spoke in you. He said to them, you have omitted the one living in your presence, and have spoken only of the dead. His disciples said to him, is circumcision beneficial or not? He said to them, if it were beneficial, their father would beget them already circumcised from their mother. Rather, the true circumcision in spirit has become completely profitable. Jesus said, blessed are the poor, for yours is the kingdom of heaven. Jesus said, whoever does not hate his father and his mother cannot become a disciple to me. And whoever does not hate his brothers and sisters to take up his cross in my way will not be worthy of me. Jesus said, whoever has come to understand the world has found only a corpse, and whoever has found a corpse is superior to the world. Jesus said, the kingdom of the Father is like the man who has a good seed. His enemy came by night and sowed seeds among the good seed. The man did not allow them to pull up the weeds. He said to them, I am afraid that you will go intending to pull up the weeds and pull up the wheat along with them. For on the day of the harvest the weeds will be plainly visible, and they will be pulled up and burned. Jesus said, blessed is the man who has suffered and found life. Jesus said, take heed of the living one while you are alive, lest you die and seek to see him, and be unable to do so. They saw a Samaritan carrying a lamb on his way to Judea. He said to his disciples, "That man is round about the lamb." They said to him, "So that he may kill and eat it." And he said to them, "While it is alive, he will not eat it, but only when he has killed it, and it has become a corpse." They said to him, "He cannot do so otherwise." And he said, "You too look for a place for yourself within repose, lest you become a corpse and be eaten." Jesus said, "Two will rest on a bed, one will die, the other will live." Salome said, "Who are you, man, that you have come up to my couch and have eaten from my table?" Jesus said to her, "I am he who exists from the undivided. I was given some of the things of my Father. I am your disciple. Therefore I say, if he is destroyed, he will be filled with light, but if he is divided, he will be filled with darkness." Jesus said, "It is to those who are worthy of my mysteries that I tell my mysteries. Do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." Jesus said, there was a rich man who had much money. He said, "It shall put my money to use, so that I may sow, reap, plant, and may fill my storehouse with produce, and with the result that I shall lack nothing." Such were his intentions, but that same night he died. Let them who have ears, let him hear. Jesus said, a man has received visitors, and when he had prepared the dinner, he sent his servant to invite his guests. He went to the first one and said to him, "My master invites you." He said, "I have claims against some merchants. They are coming to me this evening. I must go and give my orders. I ask to be excused from the dinner." He went to another and said to him, "My master has invited you." He said to him, "I have just bought a house and am required for the day. I shall not have any spare time." He went to another and said to him, "My master invites you." He said to him, "My friend is going to get married, and I am to prepare the banquet. I shall not be able to come. I ask to be excused from the dinner." And he went to another and said, "My master invites you." He said to him, "I have just bought a farm and am on my way to collect the rent. I shall not be able to come. I ask to be excused." The servant returned and said to his master, "Those whom you invited to dinner have asked to be excused." The master then said to his servant, "Go outside to the street and bring back those whom you happen to meet, so that they may dine. Businessmen and merchants will not enter the places of my Father." There was a good man who owned a vineyard. He leased it to tenant farmers, so that they might work it and collect the produce from them. He sent his servants so that the tenants might give him the produce of the vineyard. They seized his servant and beat him, all but killing him. The servant went back and told his master. The master said, "Perhaps he did not recognize them." He sent another servant. The tenants beat this one as well. Then the owner sent his son, and perhaps they will show respect to my son. Because the tenants knew it was he who was the heir to the vineyard, they seized him and killed him. Let him who has ears, let him hear. Jesus said, "Show me the stone which the builders have rejected. That one is the cornerstone." Jesus said, if one who knows all that still feels a personal deficiency, he is completely deficient. Jesus said, "Blessed are you when you are hated and persecuted. Wherever you have been persecuted, they will find no place." Jesus said, "Blessed are they who have been persecuted within themselves. It is they who have truly come to know the Father. Blessed are the hungry, for the belly of him who desires will be filled." Jesus said, "That which you have will save you if you bring it forth from yourself. That which you do not have within you will kill you if you do not have it within you." Jesus said, "I shall destroy this house, and no one will be able to build it." A man said to him, "Tell my brothers to divide my father's possessions within me." He said to him, "O man, who has made me a divider?" He turned to his disciples and said to him, "I am not a divider, am I?" Jesus said, "The harvest is great, but the laborers are few. Beseech the Lord, therefore, to send out laborers to the harvest." He said, "O Lord, there are many around the drinking trough, but there is nothing in the cistern." Jesus said, "Many are standing at the door, but it is the solitary who will enter the bridal chamber. Jesus said the kingdom of the Father is like the merchant who had a consignment of merchandise and who discovered a pearl. The merchant was shrewd. He sold the merchandise and bought the pearl alone for himself. You too seek his unfailing and enduring treasure where no moth comes near to devour and no worm destroys. Jesus said, "It is I who am the light, which is above all. It is I who am the all. From me did all come forth, and unto me did all extend. Split a piece of wood, and I am there. Lift the stone, and you will find me there." Jesus said, "Why have you come out to the desert? To see a reed shaken by the wind? And to see a man clothed in fine garments like your kings and your great men? Upon them are fine garments, and they are unable to discern the truth." A woman from the crowd said to him, "Blessed are the womb which bore you, and the breast which nourished you." He said to her, "Blessed are those who have heard the word of the Father and have truly kept it. For there will be days when you will say, Blessed are the womb which has not conceived, and the breasts which have not given milk." Jesus said, "He who has recognized the world has found the body, but he who has found the body is superior to the world." Okay, there's a lot more here. On to 14. So I'll continue on from 80 next time. All right? So there you go. That's from the Gospel of Thomas. Just basically different bits and pieces of wisdom from Jesus. Always good wisdom. Always good wisdom. Don't you agree? I think so. All right, here's an article. This is from In5D. David Nova. The name of the article is Transcending the Duality Paradigm. Our mental states of duality serve to divide us from our true selves and from each other. Transcending these paradigms is the purpose of our ascension. Duality exists in nearly every aspect of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual existence. We have day and night, light and dark, sun and moon, proton and electron, matter and energy, all examples of natural duality. We are born male and female with 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 2 nostrils. Even our brains are divided into hemispheres, left and right, one side generally considered analytical and the other creative. For the most part, we are programmed to prejudge all things in creation as either good or bad, better or worse, desired or undesired, depending upon our individual or cultural perspective. Though such obvious examples of duality appear self-apparent, we often overlook how systems of duality subtly control and manipulate us. Humanity has created many systems of duality for itself. Artificial divisions created in the mind, conservative and liberal, Republican and Democrat, West and East, capitalism and communism, religious and secular, winners and losers, normal and deviant. We categorize ourselves with labels to identify and separate ourselves. The preoccupation of the ego. We often feel better about ourselves by thinking less of others. Such belief systems might lead us to experience states of emotional duality, such as love and hate, happiness and sorrow, contentment and resentment, hope and fear. We value and encourage the positive states of duality while rejecting and suppressing the negative ones. However, this practice creates an imbalance, causing us to reject the emotional parts within ourselves that we dislike. Then these feelings externalize, creating a circuit, perpetuating that duality. We live within a dualistic universe, and some sources claim that this third density version of Earth is the most polarized expression of that duality. Our hidden so-called rulers did not create this duality. They simply manipulate the system that is already present, playing on our hopes and beliefs, our fears and prejudices, fostering these artificial divisions, all for the purpose of steering us along a desired road to solidify external systems of power and control. Instead of appreciating the attributes we share in common as human beings, as energetic beings, a spirit having a human experience, we often focus on the things that make us different. The color of our skin, how much money we have, our political views, our sexuality, our religion. We segregate ourselves. We apply labels. We make judgments. We assign stereotypes. We discriminate. These divisions only serve to imprison us in opposing camps, us versus them, much like the feuding families in Shakespeare's tragedy, Romeo and Juliet, the Montagues and the Capulets. Systems of duality create tension and friction, hostility, aggression, conflict, and perpetual war, and everlasting peace will never emerge from our current internal paradigm. Peace is incompatible with our illusions of duality. Yet we can peacefully coexist within a dualistic universe by healing and transcending the divisions within ourselves. Okay, there's a lot to this article here. Let's see. Goes on, continues talking about different types of duality. I want to get to the ending of the article here. This is about transcending, because we know now, go back and read the rest of this article, get the full gist of it, but you get the point about the dualities. And it goes on in the closing to say, our systems of duality have been constructed to manipulate our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Darkness uses duality to keep us divided, at war with ourselves and with others. We are better controlled that way, but when we shine with light and truth, we work to dissolve our illusionary divisions. We dissolve the duality and we become one people, united in purpose and vision. All this is easy or as difficult as changing the way we think, changing our thoughts, our beliefs about the world we live in. It is a process learning to see ourselves as the same, as connected, as part of something much larger than ourselves, opening up to the knowledge that the universe is a living, breathing being of consciousness, which is us. When we heal the duality within ourselves, we heal the duality in the universe around us as well. The internal change eventually becomes externalized. All right, it's a very good article, but again, go back, and there's more to the article that I didn't read. Okay, but I'm going to leave that for you to finish up. And that brings us to our channeled message for today. This one comes to us from the High Council of Orion. Alright, so let me get ready to go over to here, because we got another one of these little commercials. I don't like playing the commercials. You don't need to hear the commercials. Alright, here we go.
Energetic connection, channeled ascension message from the High Council of Orion.
May 20th, 2014. Channeled by Holly Hawkins Marwood. Transcribed by Paul Marwood.
The Council.
Greetings, dear ones. We are the High Council of Orion. As many of you know, this time of change and transformation, transition within the consciousness of your planet, within the conscious energy of embodiment in the space where you find yourself at this time, you are moving to this place of living into your energetic reality, which means that you become a creator God within your life. It means that you begin to learn to understand the power of your creative abilities, come from within, and allow you to stop waiting for experiences, people, or information from the outside to make you whole, as if you are not whole in and of yourself at this moment in time. But to allow you to expand into this reality that you really are part of this field of oneness, where everything exists, where all that you need is within that field of information that you are energetically swimming in all the time. Learning to know, understand, and connect with this idea that it's all there and it's not separate from you. It's not unattainable. It's not beyond your grasp. It is not something that others are specially able to have and you are not. It is not even being withheld from you in a punitive way. It's a question of really beginning to expand your thoughts to this possibility, this idea that it's all around you. It's all there, accessible to you. Without going into the sad story about how all these things have been missing in your life, how perhaps you are inadequate, broken, or have done the wrong things in the wrong lifetimes, even this lifetime, so therefore you can't have it. What if you decide to drop those ideas, those awarenesses, and those stories for a moment? Sit and feel into the reality of the truth that it's all around you right now. You're sitting in the middle of it. You're sitting in the middle of an energetic field where everything your heart desires, every aspect of your life that you feel is missing is there. So just allowing yourself to sit in the field possibilities, just for a little while, every day, for a few moments, without needing to see a specific outcome, without needing to say, well, if I want this and now I'm thinking that it's in the field of possibilities, why isn't it here right now? Just being open to this idea that it's all there around you. What if it's not being withheld? What if you are not missing the key ingredient? What if you're not broken in such a way that you can't have it? What if you just allow that noise, that chatter, that self-talk to turn the volume down, and allow yourself a few moments of quiet, of meditation, of peace, of turning inward to just allow for that energetic possibility. What we would suggest to you is that you, as you sit there and feel into the space of this possibility, to actually imagine, if you will sense, feel into the space that the boundaries of your physical body will dissolve into the energetic field around you. You can even envision this, if you will, as you sit there quietly. Envision what it would look like if the boundaries of your body became the light that they actually are, and they dissolved in the field of the light that's all around you. As you begin to connect with the more, without looking for a particular outcome, without looking to have a result in front of you as evidence that this is true. Just feel what it feels like to breathe into the reality that you are sitting in the midst of this energetic field that contains everything, whether it's the peace of mind, whether it's the joy, the elation, the connection, the human relationships, the ease in the material world, whatever it might be. Just sit and feel and breathe and allow the space of possibility to just even be around you. This is a first step in moving towards this greater energetic connection. In your world right now, you are used to and want to see evidence immediately. You want to say, well, I did this, now where's the result? I did this, now where's the result? What we're inviting you to do is just open up your field of experience. Just sit in possibility. Within this field of possibility is a solution to whatever it is that you're seeking. Do you have to sit in this field of possibility and say, well, then, where's my answer? I sat here for 5 minutes. We would suggest that you just allow yourself to steep in the field of possibility for a while and become aware of how your body's feeling, how your emotions are feeling. We would suggest to you that, as you are sitting there in that place of possibility, you will feel lighter, more hopeful, excited, anticipatory. Then more deeply envision what it means to lose yourself, if you will, in this boundaryless area of light and possibility, where the answer, the solution, the response to what you desire may be something vastly different than you would think in your ordinary human thinking, yet can be greatly more satisfying. For in the human realm, in the third-dimensional realm, you may feel that you desire a particular relationship or a certain amount of money or a place to live or whatever it might look like, so that from that place, therefore then, you really are going to experience the love, the connection, the peace of mind, the right location. You feel that if you get these third-dimensional things in place, therefore, life will feel okay. What you're really seeking are those higher-level feelings of connection, joy, peace, love that are the side effect of these things that you are desiring. What if you think you need a new job or a new relationship or a change in a place to live or a different health situation in your body, because when you have it, then worry, concern, loneliness and other things will fall away. If you look beyond those things immediately that you're desiring, the feeling, the outcome of what your life would look like beyond that, within this field of possibilities, there are so many ways you can achieve that ultimate goal that you're looking for without it needing to be clearly defined by a specific outcome that you might think about in your third-dimensional realm. As you sit in this field of possibilities and just allow yourself to be there, you might see different points of view, be inspired to move in a direction that you haven't thought about, see the same situation through a new set of eyes. So for today and right now, we encourage you to begin to connect with this field of infinite possibility that you are steeped in constantly. Begin to dissolve the barrier between you and it. Live into that energetic reality that you are in a field of infinite possibilities where the solutions and the answers are all there, perhaps in a different way than you expect, but in ways that could surpass your wildest imagination. We invite you to free yourself from a particular outcome needing to be the only possible solution, and open yourself up to the infinite nature of the universe in which you find yourself. As we always say, have fun with this. Enjoy the journey. We will always be at your side throughout it. Be blessed. We are the High Council of Orion.
Alright, very nice message. So let's take this message, let's take it to heart, and let's do an experiment for today. Very simple experiment. I'm just going to imagine that everything that we want and need is already here available for us. Okay? Just follow along. Take a deep breath, close your eyes. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take a deep breath again and exhale. And just keep breathing in and out. And as you feel the breath going in and out, just realize that the amount of air that you're taking in is exactly what you need, and the breath that goes out is exactly that which you need to release. And as you begin to realize that the universe gives you what you need and allows you to let go what you need to let go of, you realize that in this moment, that is how it is in all ways, in all things. That around us right this moment is everything that we need. We don't need to journey to some location to find the happiness that we think we want. We don't need to meet a certain person or have a certain amount of money or a certain amount of objects. For right now, everything we need, everything we desire is right here, right now. And as we imagine that, imagine your body expanding. Imagine the energy of your body expanding outward to the point where you feel your body and the universe around you are one and the same, as it truly is. And as you understand your connection to the universe, you understand that the universe fills and provides you with everything you need, everything that we need every single moment. There is never a moment when we are not provided with what we need. It is only our thoughts and desires that get in the way and block us from seeing what is already there. So imagine yourself now having everything you need in your life today as you go forth, and just experiencing what is there, accepting it for what it is, and finding that place of silence within yourself to understand what it is you are being shown or taught. So just let yourself sit in that place of being and having everything that you need around you right here, right now. And as you move through life today, tomorrow, this weekend, let's just imagine that as we move through, everything that we need is already here, and all we have to do is recognize. So allow yourself to go on that journey unconsciously and consciously as you go forth today and into the weekend. Let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment while our subconscious mind continues to explore the oneness of all, the abundance of the universe. Let these words of this affirmation flow through your mind. One presence, one life, one God, here, now, always. The power of this awareness dissolves all fear, doubt, and worry. God, intoxicated thoughts forge a new groove in my consciousness. Health, vigor, and vitality are the order of my day every day. The high vibration of principle and practice is top priority in my life. I say yes in advance and meet my good everywhere I go. In all things I am grateful, and so it is. And just imagine yourself feeling that feeling of all that we have is already here. And let yourself feel that abundance. Let your subconscious mind continue on that journey, and let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale, and open your eyes. All right, my friends, that's it. So let's try this experiment. Let's all try it together. We'll just go through the world, and everything we need is available. Everything we need is available, and see how our perspective changes if we stop looking for needing something and realize what we need is already here. And let's just see what the universe provides around us. And let's just see how the universe fulfills the needs that we have without us even have to ask. That's it, my friends. Have an awesome weekend. I'll be back next week with more news and information. I love you. I wish you best. Well, positive energy. And let's just keep on keeping on. Peace. I'm out of here.